Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. Got another review for you guys. And it's a special one to me since I got this whole little thing I'm trying to achieve and collecting all the OG colorways, both home and away. And now I'm one step closer. Let's talk about it. Kind of got this satin silver metallic box. It's an OG box, silver with the red Jumpman in the middle. Classic, doesn't get more classic than that. Size tag reads Air Jordan 13 Retro, black, true red and white. Opening up the top, you have a standard wax paper. And ladies and gentlemen, I am beyond pleased to present to you, back for the first time in 12 years, the Air Jordan 13 playoffs. As customary to the channel, first we're going to talk about the shoe, and then we're going to talk about the shoe. So if you don't know already, the Air Jordan 13, again, designed by the man himself, Tinker Hatfield. Jordan was called the Black Cat, the Big Cat, whatever you want to call him. So the shoe was patterned after the cat. It's patterned after a panther. So what you have here is lovingly referred to as the panther's paw. You have the herringbone traction with this nice little carbon fiber shank plate for strength and rigidity. And of course, you have the red little in-between parts of the panther's paw. And of course, the staple of that Air Jordan 13 is that jeweled panther's eye down on the bottom. One of the most beautiful features of the Air Jordan 13 are the pods here. And these pods are actually, I think, Phylon or rubber with the red bottom just tip, just showing just a little bit, just peeking out to match the Chicago Bulls colorway. And again, you have the white part of the pods here. And on the midsole, you had this nice black kind of suede-ish material. Not quite sure if this is suede or nubuck because it needs to be a little bit, resistant. It's kind of the mud guard of the shoe, so it kind of needs to be a little bit dirt and, grime resistant, as well as has some stability and, rigidity to it. But again, you get the point. So coming up to the lateral medial side of the shoe, you do have what I now believe is a nice suede. I'm gonna try to rub my finger back and forth to see if there's any motion. I mean, just from a tactile standpoint, this actually feels really good to the touch. And man, I saw this shoe and I was almost gonna skip it, but we'll talk more about that later. But this shoe is nice, man. I really love the material of this particular shoe. On the toe box, you have a pretty decent leather. In our community, we always go gaga over the leather. We talk about it like we're all leather experts. We use stuff like the shattered backboard or Jordan 1 High 85 OG, something that has real thick leather, and we always use those as the benchmarks or the measuring sticks for what real leather is supposed to feel like. I don't know, and none of you guys really do either. But for the theme of the shoe, for the whole focus of the shoe, the nice black portion of it, the shoe's not too shiny, it's not too matte. It fits in really well, especially up here on the upper of the shoe with the little pods and dimples. It's a very nice tumbled material, and I think it just fits with the overall theme of the shoe. That aforementioned suede does in fact come up the entire tongue to where you have that Jordan Jumpman logo inside of that circle. And of course, that circle I'll talk about again a little bit later. On this bottom tongue tag and that nice yellow colorway that separates yourself and differentiates yourself from the rest of the shoe, that does say Jordan. And I believe if you flip it up on the back side, there's nothing there. There's nothing there. That's interesting to me, news to me. Not sure if the camera's gonna pick this up, but just for comparison's sake, typically it has a Roman numeral 13 underneath the bottom. I don't know if you guys can tell. Trust me. It says 13, XIII, 13, Roman numeral 13 on the bottom of the shoe. I'll see if I can get some B-roll maybe later on. This one's actually a lot easier to flip. There's no 13 on the bottom of the tongue tag. And again, there's that holographic panther's eye. I'm gonna try to zoom in there real nice and tight. Maybe you guys can see that hologram at the right angle, 23, all that good stuff. I mean, it's a staple of Jordan brand and Jumpman. You guys get the picture. You're making me strain to reach you. You got it. Thick black rope lace. And on the insole of the shoe, it has a black insole with a red Jumpman logo. And that's pretty much it as far as the Air Jordan 13 playoffs is concerned. Now, again, that being said, some fun facts about the Air Jordan 13. I mean, this shoe actually debuted back in ancient times, 1997. And it's a wager that some of you might not even have been born yet, but here we are, again, 1997, the OG Classic returns. The shoe originally dropped for $150 back then, which seems kind of high. It seems kind of close in comparison to the prices we have now. But again, this shoe was $210, I believe I paid for it from the sneakers app. And here we go. Now, again, this is one of the 5 aforementioned original colorways, at least of the Jordan 13 mid or high cut, however you want to call it. There's this playoff version, the Flint 13 version, which was going to be an all-star colorway before they switched to actually home away jerseys of the individual teams. The cherries are the OG Chicagos, the black, white, true red, otherwise known as the He Got Games. And then, of course, the one that got away, the bread or the black and red Jordan 13. As you may notice, between this tongue and this tongue, there is no circle around the Jumpman. That's this tongue and this tongue and this tongue. And I believe it was also not on the bread 13. Now, the shoe has actually retro one other time before right now, and the other time was in 2011, as I mentioned. And so some people had noticed that this shoe is actually pretty close to the quality and craftsmanship to the 2011 version. So if you were on the fence about picking this shoe up because you have a 2011 version, if that 2011 version is kind of beat, broke, busted, disgusted, this is definitely a great pickup for you. The interesting note about this shoe where it fits into the Jordan brand history is that Jordan wore 13s all through that last year on the way to his second three-peat. Now, he wore the Jordan 13 up to the playoffs, this particular one in particular. Now, he did that all through the Eastern Conference. And right when he got into the finals against the Utah Jazz, he actually switched to what is now known as the Last Shot 14s, which is another shoe I regrettably don't have, but I'm going to work on it. And that kind of put this shoe to the back burner, as now the 14 was the new hot thing. But it's great to see that he wore this shoe for the entire Eastern Conference run, and that gives it a pretty nice place in Jordan history. So as far as the reception of the shoe itself is concerned, I'm a little bit confused, but also very delighted about how the shoe rolled out. Again, this is a very good quality OG shoe from Jordan brand. Now, you guys know that after the Last Shot documentary, I think came out in 2020 at this point, maybe 2021, it's been a minute, that the price of all the shoes, including the OG colorways, kind of skyrocketed. And now we're going to get past that and go to the here and now, and things to kind of cool down. Resell as far as all Jordan brand releases is quite low. It's very low, to the point where all shoes aren't selling out anymore, and we're starting to get to shoes sitting back on the shelves like the good old days that people are clamoring for. In my mind, I would like that the history and the homage being paid to the game would make this shoe an instant sellout. But people have to be selective and choose to buy what they like and what they don't like. And I can't make anyone have respect and love this shoe as much as I do, as much as I want it. But I just want to make sure that Jordan brand doesn't get discouraged with releasing OG colorways for lack of sales, as compared to a collaboration shoe or something that's more special that's done in-house or externally. And we have evidence of that with the Chicago 2s, the Cardinal 7s, the Fire Red 3s, and now these guys. I mean, the OGs are sitting more and more, which for a collector like me who's trying to get, again, the home and away colorways, that's a great thing. This shoe debuted right around All-Star weekend, and I just had a feeling there might be a shock drop that weekend, and I almost decided to skip this release altogether, maybe spin the block and come back and get it later on. But I thankfully decided to opt against that because there was no shock drop. But in my mind, I shouldn't let what shock drop or fear of missing out do to my personal collection and opinion. And here, I got this great thing in hand. So if you want this shoe, I actually think it's still sitting on the sneakers app. If you check your local mom and pop stores, or even your brick and mortar stores, Foot Locker, or maybe Champs if they have them, Finish Line, they may still be there for you. So I'm definitely not telling you to buy this shoe just because it's an OG, but for me, that was reason enough for me to get this in my collection. If you feel the same way, do me a favor, let me know down in the comments below. How much does this shoe mean to you? Where does this sit in your heart as far as having an OG colorway? Are you happy that OG colorways are now sitting for all those people who want them to get them? I will do an on-foot portion for this shoe, but there will not be a lace swap. Classics, OGs, I tend to not do lace swaps. I leave them as they are, how they need to be, preserved in time forever and ever, just like this. So again, if you guys enjoyed this video, if you enjoyed the little bit of history I provided you, do me a favor, hit that subscribe button down below, hit the notification bell, all the good stuff all your other favorite YouTubers say. And until the next one, guys, I've been Jay Shoe Fanatic. I am out of here. That's dope. Oh, the original cut. There it absolutely is. I might like it better than the 2020 version. So, right? And I had to have